Hi there, welcome to clip number 7 from the Knowledge Building series, all about supporting upper primary teachers. One of the big questions that we often have is, what goes into my literacy block? And we have this across the school, not just for upper primary, but I want to talk about what potentially might be in your literacy block in the upper primary years. Now, the thing to know is that while there is lots of research around practices that are shown to improve students' literacy and help them grow, how we put this together, the exact timings of this, all of those nuts and bolts things are not researched. And so we need to be able to make decisions based on what we know about research, based on our school context, and most importantly, based on the needs of our students. And so I'm going to just share a little suggestion for you of the sorts of things that might be in your literacy block. And certainly if you're a resource room member, there are literacy block plans there for you. So let's have a look at this little list I've made. And these are in no particular order, but I've popped here first daily review. In the last clip, and go back and have a look if you haven't seen that one. In the last clip, I talked about DeHaan's 4 pillars, and one of those pillars is consolidation. So daily review is absolutely an evidence-informed practice for helping children to retain things in their memory over the long term and use them. And on my shelf at the background there, you can see a book called Powerful Teaching. Fantastic book. I highly recommend it. Explicit Morphology is, sorry, but we're a bit blurry, my HD camera. There we go. Explicit Morphology is what replaces phonics, and I've done a previous clip about that in this series. So if you're thinking, well, how do I teach that? I've got you covered, in the resource room. But whatever you're using, whatever resource you use to teach morphology, we want to take it beyond the PowerPoint and beyond the worksheet. We want to engage children with thinking about meaning, with building words, pulling them apart, but not just at word level. We want to go to sentence level and passage level as well, so we can bring real richness to the instruction. Now, I've got syntax and sentences. That needs to be taught. We know that those are the keys to good writing, but also reading comprehension. But then I've got like a little arrow here to a text-based unit. While we might have some decontextualized explicit instruction in these concepts, I personally think that they are much richer and much more effective taught within the context of a book. And so one of the shifts in thinking is that we think about, we've got our reading time here and our writing time there. Actually, I think it's way more effective if we have one central piece of literature or text that we're working from, and from that piece of text we're developing a program of instruction that includes reading comprehension and engaging from a meaning perspective, but also we're building our writing. And that's where the connection between the text-based unit and that syntax and sentence work comes in. And if you're thinking, that's really nice, Jocelyn, but I don't know how to plan that, you are not alone, and there are text-based units in the resource room for you, but you may find things in a range of different places. So wherever you find good pre-prepared stuff, that can really help you find your feet. Oral reading, that's we've done a clip on that, so go back and have a look. That oral reading fluency work, repeated reading of the same text. And as an optional here, I've put phonics consolidation, because while it would be really nice to think that every child comes to year 3 having all their phonics consolidated, it's just not the case, particularly if your school is new to structured literacy and structured phonics in the early years. Next year's year 3s may not have had the benefit of 3 years of the early years with strong structured phonics instruction. So many structs in there. There could be a whole morphology lesson on that. And so sometimes we do have to consolidate. It doesn't mean that you have to take 40 minutes out of your day to do that. There are certainly ways, and Reading Success in Action, book number 3 is designed to consolidate all of that. And we can talk about that another time. But fundamentally, these are the things that you might consider as being the building blocks of your literacy block in the upper primary years. I look forward to unpacking more of this over time for you and hearing about what's happening in your classroom. Keep your eye out for the next video.